not studios, with Tim Miller, who is the director of the 6-minute trailer, Who Do You Trust? And we're talking about really sort of the backstory and some of the secrets behind the trailer and a lot of the thinking that went into making this really monumental piece. I mean, it's an honor to be here, Tim.
It's an honor to be doing this, sitting here and talking to you about the comics that I grew up reading.
You know, what's awesome about this whole project is, you know, I mean, it started with Jeff Johns' sort of plot outline of the backstory for the game. And I remember he led the synopsis with this quote, "Your future is what you make it," and then he wrote like Lex Luthor. And I love that because it made it seem so real, like, oh, there's a quote from a historic figure. But he really laid out this huge story, and out of all the stuff that's part of the backstory, you went in and picked a sequence that really highlighted the characters and you know, really added stuff to it that really wasn't there, and I thought it was amazing and how you really took that moment in time and made this epic sort of Gotterdammerung kind of thing. So what inspired you to kind of pick the sequence that you did and expand it to the size that you did?
Well, I've always been a fan of last stand moments. You know, it's when people are either at their best or at their worst, is that, you know, crucible in time and when you're facing death. And Jeff's comment there, he had a little piece in the story about the last battle of the superheroes, and they all die. And I thought, just as a fan, that's the moment I want to see. I want to see that moment where Luthor wins this thing that he's been fighting for his whole entire life, right, in the comics, and he finally achieves it. And, you know, does this victory turn to bitter ashes in his mouth, or is it really like, awesome, I achieved everything I wanted to achieve? But I wanted to see that moment and just play it out for all the fans like me that always wanted to see what that could be. And then I knew I could undo it because it was a time travel story.
Sure. And the whole intro with the glowing embers kind of floating, I think it's just so economical to do. I thought it was, you know.
Totally.
And it builds up the suspense of what you're going to see. I mean,
and you don't want to, you kind of want to shock people with that first view. And you got to lay a lot of backstory to sort of set it up.
I see Green Arrow.
Okay, yeah. So I wanted him there, and then see, there's Poison Ivy right there.
Oh,
She's
yeah. Oh,
on the right-hand side with the
got
arm.
it. Yeah.
It's kind of hidden behind the smoke. I think originally I had Wonder Woman was fighting Solomon Grundy in this first one, and then we thought because of ESRB issues,
sure, you can get,
we do a robot,
little more,
because we
like
can
a battle droid.
We can get a little more violent. Yeah. So this is Metallo. Oh, also just one more thing on Metallo before, it's kind of hard to see, but she cuts his arm off and then stabs him in the back. And we had quite a debate there with ESRB about saying, no, really, it's a robot. And then you see, this was originally a giant green fist.
Right.
And it just looked a little silly, so we changed it to ball of lantern energy.
And then enter Gigantus. I love the scale of it there. It's awesome.
Giganta was originally killed by Cyborg in the first script, but then I thought, well, I need to introduce Green Lantern and Black Adam in their battle, so why not give it to Green Lantern? And then we get our first look at Batman. And I wanted to do Batman as sort of the general on the battlefield, and that was his whole thing. Everybody loves to see Batman fight, but he's also this master strategist, so I thought, you know, it would make sense for him to be in charge of the battle, not Superman.
So they're remnants of the Daily Planet.
Lex is actually fighting on top of the Daily Planet building. I'm not sure if people pick it up. That twisted metal behind him is actually the globe from the Daily Planet. I like the idea of Deathstroke just...
He's just like walking around.
The stakes are higher. These guys, you know, it is the last battle and everything, but for Deathstroke, this is what he's used to. And then I wanted to finish the fight with Metallo. Originally we didn't do that, but I wanted to show off how powerful Wonder Woman is.
I just realized she pulls the sword out of his back to cut off his own head. Harley Quinn holding on to his coattails. That counterbalance is awesome. And then that's Robin's cape that she's wearing.
Yeah, it's Robin's cape.
Now that's some fancy running.
This moment was one where I envisioned something a little bit more than we were able to get. I actually wanted to see the lasers